What up, what up, what up? Let me get my light on. Holy crap, that's bright. All right, we'll just do one light. How about that? All right, crew, what is up? Obviously, I'm going to be driving, so no, I will not be looking at my phone, taking comments until I am safely parked. Let me just get out of the way, because I always get the comments like, Chaz, you're being unsafe. All right, now that we're safe, I'm going to give people a minute to hop on live until I start my little shenanigans for y'all tonight. So if you're watching the recording, play yourself some nice standby music. So here's what's on my mind. I'm going to keep this short, sweet, and to the point. I just finished up my workout, and it is currently 10:00. No, this says 9:56. I think this is slow. I think it's like 10:04 p.m. because they kicked us out and locked the doors at 10 o'clock. So I just finished up at the gym. Usually I never go at night, especially late night, because now my brain's gonna be all kinds of wiry for a few hours. I'm not going to bed early, that's for sure. Usually I get my workout done in the morning. I overslept. We had a lot of shit going on. Trista is going to be having the baby a little bit early, so we've had that to deal with. So my schedule's not been as I would normally have it and like. So what has happened is I overslept this morning, my own damn fault. Not because I stayed up late, just because I was so lazy this morning. And I've been on a roll with 5:30 a.m. I've been on a roll. And this is all going to tie back to what the title is. I promise, I assure you. So what happened was, oh my gosh, we actually have people watching. Welcome in, guys. Super late at night, unscheduled, unrehearsed. Going off the top of my head here. Back to the story. I go throughout my day. I sourced, I don't even know how many hours today. I was on the road all day sourcing, had some amazing hauls that I did. I'll be doing a haul video next week of what I found. And then I got home. Not home. I went to the office. I unloaded. I took a bunch of eBay photos so I can have a backlog of listings that I can start uploading over the weekend, or at least scheduling for next week. I organized all my FBA shipment stuff that needs to be processed by my employee on Monday. Had to label, make sure he knows what the buy cost was on everything, all that fun stuff that goes with it. I had a lot of prep to do. So I was at the office for like 3 hours. Got home. I hung out with my 4-year-old boy, Titus. I hung out with my wife, Trista, for like 40 minutes. And then I had to make the decision of, do I just stay home and skip my workout, even though I committed to myself that I'm going to show up every day and get these workouts done no matter what. They're only 30-minute workouts. I've just got to show up and do them. So I was faced with that moment of, do I do what I said I was going to do and follow through with my word and be a person of integrity, or do I skip it? And for about 10 minutes, I put my feet up and I had already made the decision. Nope, I'm just going to stay home tonight, put some PJs on and call it a day. And then my freaking conscience kicked in. A little integrity. So I got my ass up. I went to the gym. It's now past 10 o'clock. I'm done. I'm so happy I went. The whole time I'm working out, I'm like, this correlates back to business. I know some of you guys don't like when I go on my health and fitness tangents, but it ties back into it. Just give me a minute. Just hold on tight. The whole time I'm working out, I'm like, looking at the clock, it's like 9:20, 9:30, 9:40. I hit the steam room for about 10 minutes, and then I showered and got kicked out at 10 o'clock. They booted us out and locked the doors. And the whole time I'm working out, I'm like, what happened when I put my feet up on the couch, when I decided, I'm tired today, I'm just not going to do the work. Those are the moments that I did every day for years. I did them with my health and fitness. I did them with our business, with Amazon, with eBay, with this YouTube channel. I had so many days, so many wasted days. I would have been so much further along if I can go back and get my ass up and do the work I said I was going to do. I had so many of those days that I was not a person of my own integrity. I did not follow through with what I said I was going to do. And that right there was like a reflection moment where I'm like, that is when I was struggling the most with living paycheck to paycheck. I told you guys this would tie back in. Okay, I know some of you guys are like, I just want to hear business talk. This all ties back because all those days when I worked a regular job like all y'all do, okay? Some people see where we are currently at. My wife and I do this full time now. We are both self employed. It's all great, right? But what you guys don't see are the hidden hours that we put in to build the foundation that got us to where we are today. You guys weren't around. This YouTube channel wasn't around when we built our foundation. I wish I would have been recording all those years we were building our foundation. What I mean by that is she worked 40 hours a week and went to school. I worked 40 hours a week. And then a lot of weeks, especially when I went self-employed doing massage therapy for myself, that was my former career, by the way. I was then working 50, 60 hours a week while trying to build side hustles. We went through tons of different little side hustles we tried to build, and finally reselling was the one that just stuck. It became a passion. It became an addiction. You guys know the addiction. Once it's there, I'm going to flip shit the rest of my life. So much fun. But point being, there were a lot of times in the first couple years of doing this reselling business, and this is when the YouTube channel was born, was almost 4 years ago. This December will be 4 years we've been on this YouTube channel. And some of you guys have been here from day one. And during those first couple years of running this YouTube channel, trying to figure out the Amazon and the eBay business stuff and trying to figure out how to scale this thing to a full-time income, there were so many times when Trista would be working her full-time job. I would be, at the time I was doing massage therapy. I was self-employed, but I was still doing massage therapy full-time for myself. I was doing online health and fitness coaching. That was my primary gig. That's what I did my 40 hours a week with. On the side, I then had to figure out this reselling game. So what happened was I would be so exhausted because if you've been in personal training or massage therapy or physical therapist, like anything dealing with clientele, you get how exhausting, like mentally and physically exhausting some of those gigs can be. I was doing massage therapy, so I was pushing all day. I was physically and mentally drained at the end of the day. And then I would have to check in with my online health and fitness clients. I would have phone calls to do with those guys. And then it would become like 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. And I would have to then go into my garage and break down pallets of liquidation items at the time I was purchasing to then resell on Amazon and eBay. There were so many times when it came to my side hustle of reselling, the garage time, I called it back then. Anytime that time would come for me to make that decision, probably at least 75% of the time, I wouldn't do it. I was tired. I was exhausted. I wanted to spend time with my wife. I wanted to spend time with my kid. And I would still choose to put my feet up and not do what I said I was going to do. So that became an issue. It became an issue because I no longer was a person of my own integrity, and that impacted our business. And that is when we were living a lot of paycheck to paycheck times. We had times we had to borrow money from family. I have seen the $38 overdraft fees as many times as some of you guys probably have. I know the gut-wrenching feeling of collectors calling you every single day. They've called my family. They've called my prior work. Like, I've been down that road. Trust me, I know. That's why we're so passionate about building this YouTube channel up and helping you guys walk the little path that we did in your own way. You're not going to copy anyone's direct business model, but you can at least start on the same path and figure it out for yourself and what works for you. But point being, if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, here's what I did to fix that. There wasn't this magical motivation moment where I all of a sudden was like, whoop, I feel like doing all this extra work now. You have to be willing to put in the hidden hours. That's what it comes down to. Some of you guys work a full-time job. You've got a family. Some of you got 19 kids. Some of you got 1,000 different pets you got to take care of. I get it. you guys are busy, but if you keep saying you want to make reselling or your side hustle, I don't care what you're doing, but if you want to make your side hustle, I'm talking about reselling. If you want to make reselling more of a full-time income for yourself, you've got to be willing to put in the hidden hours or it's not going to happen. And that's a conversation that a lot of you still have not had with your family. Some of you with your friends, with a spouse. You guys have to sit down and have these conversations. I had to have that conversation with my wife, Trista. You guys know Trista now. She's 100% on board. She's self-employed. We do this together. And she's motivated now. But in the beginning, she didn't know what the hell I was doing until midnight every night in our garage. She didn't know what the process of buying and selling looked like. She just knew I was spending all of our money down to like the last $100 in our bank account. I was spending all of our money on product. I was trying my best to flip it quick so we can get our savings account built back up. And then from there, I tanked our credit score because I was racking up credit cards as I got those approved and I wasn't paying them back in a timely manner. You guys know what happens with that. So now in this last year, I got my shit together. I started treating this like a business. And that means I showed up. I showed up when I didn't feel like it. I no longer put my feet up. I did for 10 minutes earlier and I caught myself and real quick, I got my shit together and I went to the gym and I got my workout done because that's what I said I was going to do today. Now, with the business aspect, you guys are all in completely different areas. Okay. I can't see the chat. I'm on my phone and I don't know where my chat, but hold on, there's a chat button here. All right. Nope, that didn't work. All right. Well, crap. I can't see my chat. All right. I'll come back and answer comments on the recording of this. Your comments pop up on my video, but then they disappear and I don't know how to get them on here. I never go live from my phone, by the way. So, point being, if you are tired of living paycheck to paycheck, if you're tired of being fat and broke, if you're tired of being sick and tired, you've got to do something about it. That's what I sat down and did one day. I got up and I took the first step, which was take a couple photos, list a couple things on eBay. Maybe you go out and you go and set a goal to source at 3 stores today that you would not normally do. If normally you go home at 6, you eat dinner, you chill with the family, and then you just watch Netflix, guess what? You need to get rid of that shit. You need to drop the Netflix, drop the extracurriculars that you're wasting time and money on, and build your foundation. Without your foundation, you're not going to have a successful business. I built our first part of our business. I feel like I built on a rocky foundation because I was doing all the wrong things. I made the mistakes and all that. And there was a point in our business, like 2 years in, where I felt like we just restarted the whole thing because I built a rocky foundation. I built it on not having integrity, meaning showing up and doing the work that you know you need to be doing. Some of you, it needs to be after hours. Some of you, it has to be really early in the morning. Some of you is going to be on your lunch breaks. I can't tell you when is the best time to build your business. I don't know each of you and your schedules. You have to figure that out for yourself. You have to be willing to put in those hidden hours that no one's going to see, that your family is not going to understand. They'll support you, they'll love you, but they won't get it. But I'm telling you, when you start to make $1,000 in a week and you can show that to your spouse, they will be on board. I was able to present Trista $1,000 cash. And that's when she was like, okay, tell me more about what you're doing in the garage. So if you guys need to have that conversation with your spouse, your family, your friends, whatever, have the conversation that you need to be carving out some amount of time, 30 minutes a day, an hour a day. I don't know what you need, but you've got to have that conversation with your people that you need some time to put in those hidden hours because it's going through the pain right now, being uncomfortable right now, being scared right now, the risk, the fear, that shit's all there. Okay. I still have plenty of days where I'm like, I don't know what the F I'm doing. Like, I've had times where I'm like, should I even keep running this YouTube channel? Like, is it really making a difference for anyone? Or am I just wasting a bunch of time? I've had times where I look at Amazon, I'm like, Amazon is as pain and as much of a pain in my ass as it is with everyone else. I have as many frustrations with Amazon like you guys do. I have frustrations with eBay. I have frustrations with reselling in general. But I know that it's short-term pains and sacrifices now that build our foundation for a better future. And this all ties back into the title. Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? I know I was, and I started to take this shit seriously, treat it like a business, and then it started to pay like a business. If you keep treating it like a hobby and kind of doing the work when you kind of feel like it, it's going to pay like that. Your results are a direct reflection of your consistent efforts in your business. Not even efforts, actions. Your consistent actions or lack thereof drive your results. If you are making $1,000 profit per month, chances are you are putting in $1,000 profit of work per month. Some of you guys keep saying, "Oh, this is my year. I'm gonna do 6 figures in sales. Watch me." Cool. You said the same thing last year. What happened? You didn't follow through. You weren't consistent. And I'm not talking to anyone here. You may look at me and be like, "Oh, Chaz is hitting home with this." Cool, but I'm talking to who I was. If I can make this video right now and like talk to myself a couple years ago, this is what I would say. That's where this all stems from. These car rants, these late night chats I like to have with you guys. I know not many people watch these videos, but that's okay. I'm making these to talk to the person I used to be. And some of you are walking those same shoes right now. So if you keep running your mouth, it's time to back it up with some action. If you say you want to be a 6-figure seller, then damn it, go do it. Shut your mouth and go do the work. Do the 6 figures, and then you can talk about it. That's what we did. I spent the first 2 years, like I remember year one, we did, I think we did 74, it was like 74K in total sales. Of course, that's not profit. I'm not going to get into all that, but I think we did about 74K in sales the first year. And I was so pumped. I remember year two, I'm like, we're going to do 100K. I fell short by like $5,000. I literally did like 95K, the second year. I was so pissed. But after I got pissed, I'm like, whose fault was that? That was on me. That was no one else. That wasn't because I didn't have access to capital. That wasn't because I was too busy, blah, blah, blah. All the shit in the world I can come up with. It was because I put in 95K worth of work. So if you want to be a 6-figure seller, you got to do 6-figure seller work. If you're at the 6-figure mark, which we are, I keep in my head, I'm like, I want to do 7 figures. And then I'm like, shit, that's 7-figure level work. I know I'm not doing that right now. Okay. So you've got to match your actions with whatever you say your goals are. That's what it comes down to. That's how I got to the point where I don't have to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. I spent many, many years doing it. Me and Trista struggled a lot, just like most people do. We faced bankruptcy. We didn't go through it, but we were pretty damn close. We were, in talks about going through it. Borrowing money from family, that was like one of the lowest points. I had to borrow $50 from my brother one time. And then another time we had to borrow $50 from her sister. And those were both times where I'm like, just like, something's got to give. And I took responsibility. That was when I hit a low point. I'm like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to start taking this shit seriously. I can't afford to be lazy anymore. I can't afford to procrastinate. I can't afford to not have integrity with my own word. That's where I got serious. Now, with that preface, we by no means are buying Lambos and have a big fancy house. We don't have a huge bankroll sitting in our I guess we don't have a huge amount of cash sitting in our bank. But for the first time in a long time, I can go to the grocery store. I can buy the foods I want, and I don't have to follow a $60 per week budget, which was our personal budget for about 2 or 3 years. That was our personal budget, $60 a week for the two of us. That was our grocery budget. I literally spent, I don't even know, 5, 6, 7 years putting $10 worth of gas in my car every single gas stop I did. $10. That's all. That's all. Like we're paycheck to paycheck. I know what that feels like. The fact that this morning I just had this moment where I drove up. I'm in Oregon. We have gas station tenants, by the way. So it's actually slightly illegal for me to pump my own gas in some areas. So I pull up and I tell the guy, I'm like, hey, can you just fill it with regular? And when he walked away, I just had this split moment where I'm like, I'm so damn grateful now that I can fill up my own gas tank because I spent so many of those years putting $10 in. And sometimes I would put $10 in and have to like check my bank account to make sure I had the $10. That's when I was not following through with my word. I was not putting in the work. I was not putting in the hidden hours. I was being lazy. I was procrastinating and I was talking a big game. That's when I was paycheck to paycheck. I got out of that because I started taking it seriously. Some of you are in a position where if you just actually started putting in real work, you went and sourced those extra stores. If you just set a goal to source 5 extra stores per week, that can change your family's life. Like think this I'm talking to like maybe 2 people that watch this whole video out of the multiple thousands that watch this video. I'm talking to like 2 people. Those 2 I might be talking to. If you just sourced 5 extra stores per week, I don't care if you hit them all in one day or if you spread them out throughout the week on your lunch break, late night, early morning, I don't care. If you source 5 extra stores per week, you might make another $1,000 or $2,000 a month profit in your family's bank account. That can change everything for some of you, especially those of you, like the title reads, if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, you have to put in extra work to get out of that situation. That's all it comes down to. So with that being said, end rant. I figured you guys would enjoy my little late night sesh. This is just stuff that was rolling through my head, and this happens pretty much on a daily basis. Different topics roll into my head. I'm constantly reflecting, reviewing where we came from, what I did or adjusted in my life to get a different result. Those are just things that run through my head every day. So I think what I'm going to start doing is if the moment pops up and I feel inspired to share it on video, hopefully you guys are okay with that. So do me a favor if you like these style of videos where they're just raw, unedited. I don't give a damn if I got trolls on here. I don't give a damn if I get demonetized on these ones. I just want to be more raw and transparent with you guys, which is what I've been doing for 4 years on this channel. So nothing changes. I'm just going to try to pop on here and do what I can to share what we've been through, what we're going through, what we're going through in the future. Hopefully help some of you guys out. So comment below, hit the thumbs up button, all that good stuff.